got here, I met Fola in the course of stuff, and Fola would teach you the real estate part. I would teach you the other part that you can start with little money, so that when you gather the money together, we will now both come to Fola. That's how we do it, yeah? Okay, thank you. This is not clicking. Okay, beautiful. Let's go through. Okay. The biggest investment that I do, and I tell a lot of people to do, is in the stock market. How many people are Nigerians here? How many people are other parts of Africa? Nobody. Okay, so that means I can be a bit freer and you understand some analogies that I give because we're Nigerians. I want you to imagine Ladipo Market. I'm sure we all know Ladipo Market, where they sell spare. Okay, Ladipo Market is a huge market in Africa where they sell spare parts. A lot of things are there. A lot of the sellers there are billionaires, even though the place doesn't look anything like it. But what's critical is that that place is where you go to buy like imported stuff for like your car and all of that. So you want to get a good part for your car and go, you go there. The shops are huge. The people there usually have shops in different parts of Nigeria as well, in different countries. Now, imagine that you know a guy in that Ladipo Market that, for example, sells spare parts, car parts and co. And you like the business because you see this man making a lot of money. So you go to him and say, my brother, I want to do this business with you, but how can I start? And the man says, I had to learn this thing over 14, 15 years. It's not something you can just start today. But because I know you're interested, instead of you starting this business on your own, why don't you bring your money and join me in this business? And every quarter, I will show you all my books. You'll be able to see every money I made, what I lost. And once I make money, we make money together. Once I lose money, we also lose money and co. Brethren, that is the stock market for you. That's the easiest way to understand it. It's just a place where everybody can come to and you can invest in companies. No matter how much you love, a lot of us in the room are here now. Is any of you into mining? Have you gone inside to the place where they used to go and mine gold or mine diamond? Good. Did you know you could buy companies that do that? Exactly. You could invest in as much companies as you want in the world or be there. The stock market opens that ground for you. That's what the stock market is. Investing in places that you normally won't be able to do. Your money goes there. You don't have to go there. I'm going to just speed through a lot of things just so that we get to the meat of the story. Why do we do this? My brothers and my sisters, is to make money. See, this world is the world of men. We have to be rich. It's to make money. It's for you to grow your money. It's as simple as that. We're not here to do anything yala yala or something. It's to make money. The money has to grow. Sorry, money has to grow. And it's liquid. That's the lovely thing I love. If no matter what Fola tells you, even though all of us are buying houses with Fola, no matter what Fola has told you, to buy a house today, you know how much you used to put together? But this one you can start immediately. That's why I like, and it's very liquid. What do I mean? If tomorrow morning I got tired and I want to maybe buy a house and go, I can literally go to my stocks and shares ISA and write £100,000, deduct, sell my shares and get that money, and it's in my account the next day. No stress and co. I dare you to go and sell a house in one day. Even Fola will not sell for you one day. So you see that it's not easy. But this stocks is very liquid. It's very fast. You can sell easily. Okay. Now, the other thing is, it is so easy to start. Very, very easy. As little as £10, £20, you can start investing. You don't need a huge sum of money. And if you still have a huge sum of money as well, you can invest. What I like is the barrier to entry is not there. It's literally zero. Anybody can buy, anybody can invest, and you can do it anywhere you are, no matter your age. What's more, the stock market doesn't see color. No matter what we do here, we know that there's some form of racism, overt, covert, whatever, is still there. But the stock market doesn't see your color, it doesn't see your age, it doesn't see anything. It's open for everybody. Everybody just sees the Benjamins, the money that is growing. Okay. And then the next thing, because what I want you to leave here with is what, where, how, who. Like, I don't want you to be going out of this room and you have more questions than coming in. It's about that as I tell you these things, because anytime I teach from my heart. I try to tell you the exact things I'm doing. I mean, I'm doing a lot more than what I'll show you here, but as a beginner, what I've put together, and the reason I share this sort of slides is because as someone who is starting out, this is what you need. If you do this, it covers like 80% of the work. As you now become much more good at investing and co, you can now be learning the remaining. Yeah. The first thing you need is the where. That's this account. This stocks ISA is the most important account that anybody can have in this UK. As a matter of fact, as I'm speaking now, all of you open your phones. Go and download Trading 212 if you don't have it. It's an app where you can invest. Trading 212. Go and download it so that we're not just here talking by ourselves. Say practical class, sharp. Download it if you don't have it already. If you have it, beautiful. Now, this stocks and shares ISA is one of the most important accounts you ever have. The government allows us to invest up to £20,000 in it a year. So that's how much in the stocks and shares ISA. Let me tell you, yeah, for now, by this grace of Jehovah, God will not. No, I don't think they are going to change it because no, that's not 12,000. No. That's for the cash ISA. That's what they reduce. The stocks ISA is different. The stocks ISA is where you invest. And I'll give you an example very quickly. Because what I want to teach you today, for example, if Fola decides that she's going to invest based on what I tell today, and she's investing, let's say, £200 a month. And this, my beautiful sister here, does exactly the same thing in the same trading 212. But she uses a normal investing account on that trading 212. She opens the stocks and shares ISA the same way I've said. Let's say at the end of 200 or 20 years, they've both invested and their money has grown to £1 million each. And it's very possible. So Baba Williams will now call this my beautiful auntie and say, well done, my daughter. Out of that 1 million that you have made, how much did you invest there? Oh, I invested 48 or 50,000. Beautiful. Remove that 50,000. The remaining, they will just put 40% tax on top of it. Yes. But you see this auntie that is smart, that put her own in this stocks and shares ISA account, the money is tax free. So that means if you invest in that stocks and shares ISA account and you make up to 1 billion, your money is not taxable by law. So that's why it's important that I start with this account before I even tell you what to buy. You need to know the container to put it, because don't go and put it's like you are working hard and you're pouring water inside the basket. Don't do that. That's why I always start with the account. That account is the first thing. That's why I said open it. If you have not opened it, Holy Spirit is going to fight you. So open it. Yes, go and open it. So that you will not say, my coming from Debbie to come and tell you about it will not be in vain. Yeah? Okay. Number 2 is, what are the types of investment that I do? Investing in real estate is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. I'm not going to lie. But a quick way to get into it, before you are able to afford your own house or thing and co, is what we call REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. Now, what are these real estate investment trusts? It's very easy. They are companies that own multiple real estate. There are malls in this UK now that when I walk into it, I walk inside it with pride. Reason is because I own a part of that mall. Now, it's not like they know me there or anything. But because I own a REIT that owns that mall, then I own a part of the mall. And let me give you examples. Most of us as human beings, when we think of buying houses now, you likely think of buying maybe a house or a second property and you rent it out. That's what most of us, but REITs don't think like that. Most of these REITs, they own different types of property. There are REITs that they own hundreds of warehouses. So if you buy a share of that REIT, you own a tiny piece of different warehouses across the world. That's what I love about REITs like that. There are REITs that focus on entertainment. There's a REIT that I'm going to tell you about that focuses on entertainment. It owns over 60,000 hotel rooms, over 500 restaurants, and cool. You buy those sort of REITs, you own a tiny piece of those properties as well. That's why you see me saying that I own malls, because there are REITs I invest in that own malls, and cool. Do you guys get it? Do you understand what I'm saying? So that real estate investment trust is a quick way for you to get into property without you having to actually buy a physical property. And because they also invest in multiple things, it gives you layers. I'll give you an example. There's this REIT here called Stag Industrial. Stag Industrial is a REIT that owns a lot of warehouses. So you see all these warehouses you see when you're going on M2, M3 and co, that you have H&M warehouse, Amazon warehouse and co. Those companies don't own those warehouses. They lease them from a company like Stag Industrial. And guess what? When we think of e-commerce, everybody's thinking of, oh, Amazon. Oh, thank you. Because it's clicking. Thank you, my brother. When we think of real estate, we think of things like, we think of e-commerce, we think of Amazon, Shein and co. Those companies, they cannot function without warehouses. So these warehouses are like the backbone of it. Whereas this company like Stag Industrial is who they lease those properties from. And they don't pay rent like us every month. Those people pay rent in like 20 years. Leases, that's what they do. So this is like the backbone of e-commerce, because they cannot bring your clothes in time if they don't have warehouses. And those warehouses, and you invest in something like this REIT, you get between 6 to 8% in a year, just for owning without stress and co. Is it making sense so far? Yeah. Okay. There you go. All right. I'm going backward though. God forbid. Okay. So for example, Realty Income is a great REIT. Richie Properties, that's a REIT that is into entertainment. You invest in that company, you are buying a tiny bit of different hotels. Think of hotels in Las Vegas, restaurants and co. I like Getty Realty. I personally invest in Getty Realty. Getty Realty is a REIT that has over 1.2 about 1,200 properties, and they focus on essential properties. Think of things like petrol stations, drive-thrus, recharging stations, car washes. Those are things, that's what they focus on across the world. You buy that REIT, you bought a tiny piece of those different stuff, and they pay you dividends, 6 to 8%, like I said. Is it making sense so far? So that's your first entry into real estate before you're able to pack enough money to do correct one. Does it make sense? Okay. We have more that we will go into. Now, the biggest investment that I do, apart from REITs, that I also do is in what we call exchange traded funds. Exchange traded funds, to understand an exchange traded fund is very easy. It's basically multiple companies in one. I want you to think of the broom we usually use to sweep our houses in Nigeria. You know that you have a whole bunch. It's made of broomsticks, different ones. I want you to think of companies as each of those broomsticks. A company, for example, like let's say Microsoft. This laptop, Microsoft is powering it, their Windows and co. I want to think of a company like Microsoft as a company, as one broomstick. No matter how strong Microsoft is, if tomorrow morning it was released in the news with video evidence that, what's his name? What's the owner? Bill Gates is a pedophile with pictures of him with children and all of those things. What do you think will happen to Microsoft shares? Beautiful. That's the problem when you invest in individual companies. No matter how strong the company is, it just takes some crazy talk or some crazy scandal to ground that company. And there goes your money if you invest in it. But if you put your money in an ETF that has multiple companies in one, for example, the S&P 500, I'll tell you what that is. That has 500 companies in one. Let's say in 1 year, 30 of those companies decide to be unfortunate and they crash. What you still have 470 to cover for you, right? So that means that in the end, it's very hard. Someone asked me once, I said, oh, if I invest in these ETFs you're speaking about that have multiple companies in one, what if all the companies crash? I said, if the top 500 companies in the world crash, at that point, we should not be worrying about money anymore. That means that all of us should be in bunkers. I'm telling you, we should all be in our villages and keeping out, because that means World War III has officially started, because it's impossible for all of those. And that's what I want you to get to when you invest. I was speaking at an earlier event today, and I was telling them that, see, there are some people that will be arrested very soon by human beings like us. All these people online, hey God, buy this company, buy that company, is because they haven't gone through when the stock market declines. Some of these companies they are speaking of, you'll be shocked that they can decline 90% in 1 year, and there goes your money. And it might not recover in 6-7 years. So it's easy when the market is going good for people to say, buy individual companies, buy this company, buy that company. I've lived it. So I'm able to tell you that there are companies that I've invested in today that have done 10, 20 times what I invested. And there are companies that I invested in and they've dropped by 99%. Some of them have even been delisted, meaning that they are no longer on the stock market. So my money is gone forever. Yes, it happens. And I'm not saying Nigerian companies. I'm talking of American, international, UK companies. So you have to be very careful when you invest. And that's why I say you need to pick things like ETFs. Like I said, what is an ETF? Exchange traded fund, meaning multiple companies in one. So you're buying one, you're using one stone to kill, in this case, 500 beds, 200 beds, 1 million beds. And an easy way to get it is that as much as there are industries or companies in the world, there's ETFs for it. What do I mean by that? If you were interested in healthcare and you believe that healthcare companies, particular healthcare companies, or just one healthcare company, you can buy an ETF that has 60 healthcare companies together. That way, you get an average of what they grew. It's very easy, it's stressless. Same thing can happen with things like commodity ETF. Some of you that like gold, instead of you buying one individual gold company, you can buy an ETF that has multiple gold companies in one. Making sense so far? Do we understand? There's also ETFs that are weighted on averages or industries. For example, I'll show you an ETF now that has top 100 companies of the NASDAQ. You buy that ETF, you've bought the top 100 companies. There are ETFs that put together the top 7 companies, top 50 companies, top 500 companies. So that way, you don't even have to be going to using and be choosing and coin by yourself. It's already, and guess what? Those ones even grow well. I'll give you an example. I'll show you some specific ETFs now. But there are ETFs that even investing in Apple will not have made you as much money as investing in those ETFs. Why? Because other companies are there to make it grow. When Apple is not growing, there are other companies that are growing that together. Does it make sense? Are you guys getting what I'm saying with these ETFs? Okay. Different types, yeah? And these are specific ones that I love. You see what I'm telling you? That me, I don't know how to hide mouths. They're always saying that. And the problem is this. There are trillions and trillions of dollars in the stock market. Our $1 billion or our $2 it's not going to affect anything. So there's no need for me to be hiding mouths, because in our culture, we're almost used, when you ask someone that has money, you say, my brother, we thank God. Do you understand? They won't open the mouth to tell you the cocoa. I don't do that. This way, I'm gonna explain to you, like I told you, I want you to leave this room empowered. What, where, how, who. Everything very easy, so that you know exactly what. And as you go to bed, the Holy Spirit will not be pinching you. Or as you are buying wosi with your money, as you are buying bag, shoe, the Holy Spirit will be looking at you and will be pinching in your soul that, but this sister told you where you can invest this money now. This money can be going. Because that's how I see money now. When I want to buy something, I ask myself, what would this money be in this particular ETF in how many years? It's not like I won't still buy some things, but you just will need to know exactly how your money is going. So let's walk through some of this. This particular ETF, I love it very much. And the names I use here are the names you can find on Trading Towards. People are, so you people like money like this. They're not even listening to me. They are first capturing the screen, just in case. So, for example, this one, just remember the name USDV. This particular ETF went and packed together 100 plus companies that are dividend aristocrats. Let me tell you, when a company is called a dividend aristocrat, that means that company has paid dividends consistently for the last 20 plus years. So every year, that company now said that instead of you just buying one company that will pay you dividends, buy an ETF that holds over 100 of them. This ETF has companies like Chevron, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Home Depot, Qualcomm, a lot of great companies are there. You buy this particular one, it pays you dividends. It pays between 3 to 4% dividend yield yearly. And then it also grows. It might not grow much, but it pays you that dividend consistently. In the last 1 year, apart from the dividend of 4% thereabout that it does, it's giving 19%. All these numbers, they are not phantom numbers. So please feel free to fact check me. Go and check on Yahoo Finance and Co. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, the USD, is it the LSE or the 6?
Anyone. LSE means the London stock exchange. So you can buy it on the London. Even the names I usually use, I usually pick the ones that are in UK that you can easily buy because they're listed on the London stock market. Yeah. So this one pays you, it gives you, in the last 1 year, grown 19%, last 5 years, 35%, and the last 10 years, 137%. And it will have been paying you dividends every year on the way, because it's not even focusing on those. This is more like a dividend play. Making sense so far? Do we understand? And it's low risk. 100 plus dividend paying companies. The next one, I always tell people that this is like the foundation of any investment you want to do. This should be like, when you're building a house, at that point, you're not thinking, at that foundation point, you're not thinking about how beautiful the house is. You are thinking that this house, the foundation must be very strong. This ETF has 500 of the largest and top US companies. And the companies there are not put in there by vibes and inshallah. No. The companies must meet a specific criteria. Every year, they are weighted. Don't worry, I'll finish. 5 minutes, Abby, don't worry. Every year, those companies have to meet a specific criteria. If they don't meet the criteria that year, that company is yanked away and another company is put in its place. That's the beauty of, and you buy it, you have companies like Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, Google, as much top companies, 500 of them in one place. This ETF gives you normally an average of over about 12% in a year. But in the last year alone, it's giving 25%. I dare you to tell me a job in this UK that will give you 25% growth, or accounts that will give you 25% growth in the last 12 months. Please tell me. It's not, they are erudite.
Yeah, so when it says
Auntie, I thought you were going to answer now. Yes, ma'am. Quickly, because we want to quickly go. Okay. Accumulating just means that when that thing pays you dividends, instead of them instead of them to give it to you, they will use it to buy more shares for you. That's why I usually do accumulating. Distributing is for people that they still like to see some money enter their account, even if it's $1, £2, whatever, just so that they see it. That's the difference between accumulating and distributing. Yeah, but I usually go for accumulating. That's just a personal preference. Yeah. Okay, so you see in the last 1 year, it's done 25%. In the last 5 years, 85%. And in the last 10 years, 270%. So instead of your money sitting in your account, your money could have made 270% in this ETF in the last 10 years without you lifting a muscle. No stress. Making sense so far? Do we understand? And it's low risk.
So a quick one.
Yes, ma'am.
So that part is in the investment account, but not in the ISA account.
In your ISA. Hey, gold. Is inside the ISA. What are you saying, my sister?
I'm just thinking because if you max out the ISA, then...
No, if you max out the ISA, it doesn't mean. So let me explain. No. Let me explain. Your ISA is just your seed. What you can put into the ISA, for example, like I said, is 20,000 a year allocation. But if that 20,000 in 1 year grows into 1 million, doesn't mean next year you still get a 20%, 20K allocation.
No, but in a current year, you want to put more.
Exactly.
No, you cannot put more. No, you can't. You can't do it. But then you can go to the invest. Or that's why I say it's good to have a good spouse. Because that means your family actually has an allocation of 40K. And if you have a child as well, the kids have allocation of 9K. So if your money is really plenty, you can even split it over all of that. Yeah, that it's not a no. I can put it but I shy away from putting it. If I can keep it in my ISA, much better, because I want to avoid that capital gains tax as much as possible. It's fine. You can. What I did when I moved to the UK was I sold some of my stuff there, and took it out and put the money into my ISA quickly. That's what I did. I just sold the stocks, put it in my ISA, and bought the same things back. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, the essence of, if you have a JISA, junior ISA for your child, what you need to do is, I particularly do mine on Hargreaves Lansdowne. Like I said, I don't hide stuff. You need to grow. That's why we are speaking here. I do mine in Hargreaves Lansdowne. You can buy all of this for your kids. I buy XLKS mostly, SMH for my children. Hargreaves Lansdowne. That's the one I use for my child.
Okay, so it's better to use Hargreaves.
You can use for JISA, for junior ISA. They don't have junior ISA, so I use Hargreaves. Yeah. Okay. So they're going to send me out very soon. So let me quickly tell you people. EQQQ. This one focuses on top 100 companies on the NASDAQ. That's what it focuses on. It has a lot of tech companies. You see what I'm saying there? Top 500 companies together, top 100 companies together. This particular one, in the last 1 year, over 40%. That's what, if you put your money in July last year, and this morning you got tired and you wanted to take your money out, if you put £1,000, you'll be living with 1,400, and nobody's going to hold you and tax you on it. All of you that you have been putting your money in your bank accounts, I'm looking at you. And I hope my eyes is scaring you enough to go and move your money to the right places. In the last 5 years, 116%. In the last 10 years, 610%. That means 6 times your money. Again, please don't believe me. I want you to go to Yahoo Finance when you are done here and go and research these things yourself. You'll be shocked at how money is growing. They always say if you don't want a black man to know something, put it in a book. Because we will not read it. But I hope I brought it to you in slides now. And these are real. I'm sure I've never spoken in a place and they'll say, maybe we'll do this in the future. People will always say, I wish I knew this, I wish I knew this, because you always know that, because you'll be looking at all the money you've been wasting and go. All right? Again, this is medium risk. I always tell you the risk. And then this is XLKS. A quick caveat on this one. If you are ever looking for all my money, anywhere my money is, my personal money in this world, 90% of it is in this one. Because I work in tech, so I know how powerful tech is. And this particular ETF has 300 and something tech companies in there. Imagine investing in all of that in one. Nvidia, Qualcomm, like so many great tech companies in one. It does an average normally of about 20% in a year. That's the average it's done. And it's done that average for the past 20-something years. Imagine your money growing. People don't understand the power of compound interest. Your money growing at 20% a year consistently. Yes, Daddy.
Yes, so for this one, which I like actually, if you compare this one with like Vanex Semiconductor, which one do you think?
Don't worry, we will get there. We will get there. You have to understand risk. That's the thing. So this is, again, medium risk, top tech. In the last 1 year, 58%. Like, it's real. It's not this thing. I'm sure when I say it to some people, look at me and say, it's real. 58% of your money. If you were taking it out this morning, today, that's what you get. In the last 5 years, 170%. In the last 10 years, over 800%. That's how much you will have made. That's how much your money will have grown without stress, yeah? And this is the one you were speaking about, Van Eyck, semiconductor. I love this particular one, but it's high risk, so I always let people know. This is one of those ETFs that controls the world. There are just 26 companies in it. But you see, these companies are what controls. You see, all these are phones you're bringing out. They work with chips. These companies are the ones that produce those chips inside. Without this company, there's basically no tech. These companies, they're the ones that control everything. And more importantly, in this age of AI, these companies are the ones that produce the GPUs that powers AI. So there's no AI without them. They're extremely important companies, but it's a volatile ETF. It goes up and down. So your chest, yes, just do it. Know that BP is part of the process. Yes, BP. Sorry, my brother Jerry.
Sorry, if they control most of the tech we use, does that not mean that if this goes down, the other medium
stuff
one should go down?
No. So the thing is this, because there are other tech companies in those other ones, these are part of it, but there are other tech companies, software companies, all of those other things, hardware companies, that they might use chips, but it doesn't mean that it controls them. Do you see what I'm saying? They might use chips, but it doesn't mean, and because you have all those other companies, those ones also cover for that particular ETF. Yeah, but this is just a more smaller subset. It's like the body, but you're now focusing on the digestive system. That's the way it is, yeah? This particular ETF in the last 1 year, 151%. I dare you to tell me who would have given you that. 151%. In the last 5 years, 434. In the last 10 years, over 22x your money. Let me be very clear. 22x your money means if you put $1,000 or £1,000 and forgot it there in the last 10 years, you will be able to take out today 23,000 without anybody holding you. You see that? Is that not legal money withdrawal? And again, you are not putting this in one company. You are putting it in over 20-something companies. I know you want to tell me to stand up, sir. But my people, the essence is that, I know, questions will yampia. The essence of the way to do this is understanding. And that takes me to my next slide. Of course, I've told you where to buy, so I'm going to jump. These are other places, eToro, IG, and Co. But I picked Trading 212. This is what I told you to download because it's a fantastic and it's the simplest and it's commissions free. Yeah? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
On the platform, is there anyone that really, I know eToro, EU, is there anyone that really focuses on EU? I'm based in Germany. And
Yeah, so Trading 212 is perfect for you.
what?
Trading 212. It works for Europe. It's pretty much across the world. Yeah, Trading 212 is a great one. Okay, so now because I know some of you will now carry all your money and go and put it inside the high risk one and be crying. I've now decided that no, I have to show you the calm and the professional way to do this. That's how to do it. Now imagine you had £200 a month and you wanted to be investing it, and this first one go. This is your destiny. This is where you should stay around. You see the way we've divided it. Imagine you had that £200 every month to invest. You can put 30% of that money, that's £60 every month, into the VUAG. Remember, that has the top 500 companies in America. You can decide 20% into the REITs. Who remembers I told you about REITs? Real estate. So you diversify. You can buy one, maybe like the Getty Realty. You can put 20% of the money, that's 40 quid a month, into USDV. Remember those dividend ones, those ones that pay dividends. And then your final 30% you can put in the EQQQ. That one that has top 100 companies, gives you, again, that's medium risk. You see, every other thing there is low risk. This one is the only medium risk. So it balances out. At the end of your 1 year, your 10 years, your 20 years, in that 20 years, if you were saving your money, you will have saved 48K. Let me just tell you, if you were saving. Or if you were using it to pay mortgage, even worse. Because your house will not have grown by how many? See, wisdom will set you free. Wisdom with money will set you, your generations free. So you see that you're looking at around 300K from your 200K. Does it make sense so far? Okay. Now let's say that you have a bit of chest. Moderate. This is where a lot of us are. This is where a lot of us are. You can now say this same your £200 a month. You will put 30% into this of the money, 20% into either the REIT or that dividend. You don't buy both, you pick which one. And then 40% into the EQQQ or the XLKS. Remember that one that I did. And just 10% into the high risk. Because this way you mix it up. You don't put your money in. Because a lot of people, when you see things online, go and buy this. They will go and buy it. They go and buy that. They go and, there's no system. What I'm teaching you is what the professionals do and how you can really grow your money. Is it making sense so far? Do you understand me? Am I wasting my time? No. Aha, beautiful. So it's like in 1 year, in 10 years, in 20 years, you can see. You people should be beg this uncle. His eyes is scaring me. Just extra 5 minutes. We are done. Yes. I'm just doing because, like I told you in the beginning, I don't want to come here and be telling you phantom stories and giving you aspire to perspire. That's not my destiny. God forbid. If we are coming here, let us tell ourselves the truth. And like I said, your money is not going to stop my money. And again, what I've told you is just a tip of the iceberg. There's so many other ways to make money in these ETFs. So many different other ETFs that I can't tell you today. I always just go out with about 3 or 4, this 4 or so, just because that's what beginners need. And honestly, by the time you become 3-4 years into this, you will start being the one searching for much more powerful ETFs, much more powerful way that if I tell you, you won't believe that it's possible to grow your money that way. Okay. Now, this is the one that a lot of people do as well. See, this one is high risk. Your shares is very strong.
621.
But even at that, you still see that I've still not packed all my money into this risky one. 20%, 50%, 30%. You see that I don't joke with this foundation. It was very much there. 50% into this, 20% into this. And you see what that money can grow into at the end of 20 years. Can you see? Yes, so just for your you see, I didn't tell you to go and bring £1,000 and 2,000 and put it inside. I'm telling you, do it monthly. Just with £200 a month. I'm not telling, that's what can get you to up to that 600K. Guys, does it make sense?
100%.
You see that it is possible to build wealth. I want you to now look at this and tell yourself if you can do £400 a month, if you can do £500 a month. Imagine what you could do. More importantly, what if you could do it for your child? What if you could put £100, £50 every month and buying these things for your child? By the time they are 18, kids are walking away with 150K, 200. That child can decide to be creative with his life and go and do different things. And guess what? You hand that over at 18 or 20. You tell that child, from the day you start making money, you are going to be putting £100 into this or doing. That child, you are setting that child up for life. By the time they are 30, they can stop working in their lives. With these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you. Thank you very much.
Not confuse us.
Yes.
I know when you are needed, you'll be needed. Am I correct? I want us to give the both speakers a round of applause. They've done just a minute so that I'll ask you to stand up again.
Because they have questions.
Yeah, I know.
That's why.
I know you have a lot of questions. I know. Even me, I have questions, but I asked for like, you know. But sorry, a quick one. VIP tickets, speakers.
Nice to meet
Please,
you.
it's
Solafunmi.
lunchtime. You can go upstairs.
Sure,
for
maybe
your
you've seen my
lunch.
videos.
And
somewhere.
yeah, I know. I know. Others, we can just get our food at the entrance there and come into the main hall.
So hungry.
Like I said, I still have a barcode that we're gonna scan and get in contact with her personally. Yeah. No, I know. You can even get her contacts. She will share it with. I trust her. So I just want her to get, have a little break for 1 or 2 minutes because it's a lot. Our slide is still like 70 of it, but we can't get that done today. So if you have a questions, please let's just take 5.
Please,
questions.
let's take everybody's. My brother, I promise to be very fast.
Oh, it's not,
Oh, yeah,
it's not
hit
sorry.
me.
Okay, how do we do now? Okay, I think mommy first.
Mommy first.
Yeah, mommy
Okay.
first.
Yes,
It's a
ma'am.
very quick one. Thank you. Thank you very much. Part of this I'm involved with, but I just want to check from what you've said, particularly around the ETFs. Does that mean ISA? That's the best way to do it from ISA. And if you have more than that, whatever the limit of ISA is, what do you do? Can you do it?
Yeah, you can do it in the regular investment account. I just try to avoid that as much as possible. I'll give you a trick. If you still have Nigerian account, I'll tell you to consider it. If you still have, because you can buy the same things in Nigeria or anywhere else. Because what I'm trying to avoid for you is the 40% capital gains tax that you want to avoid here. So, for example, a lot of my portfolio is not even in the UK at all. I still have my ISA, I'm growing that and cool. But because I started investing before I came into the UK, I still have those portfolios and I didn't bother to bring them here. Just because I'm avoiding Baba Williams. You have to do wisdom.
Okay, I'll probably
The other way is also to look at if you have a spouse, that means between yourself and your spouse, you have 40K instead of 20. Trustworthy spouse, so for your money will disappear. Okay, next question, sir.
So my question is basically about the government. So
Yes, sir.
unfortunately, I don't trust them in the sense that what if 30 years from now, a different should I say leader comes in, then I say, oh, this whole trading that you've done, want to charge it or they change the OT. So
to be honest, nobody can predict. I mean, these people can even start collecting their passports back. The thing is this, I doubt that when you look at it, you see, we are small in this free show. There's a lot of other bigger people who invest or companies who invest this way. They will fight that legislation. Maybe they will now start it and say, from whatever money you put from that particular year, they will now start taxing or something. But this is a legal way. I'll give you an example. UK is actually one of the highest that I've heard of in the world. In America, it's only 6K that you can do, $6K that you can do in sheltered account like this. And then even in Canada, I think it's like 7.5 or something Canadian dollars. So we should take advantage of it. As in, we're anyone.
Are you talking about ISA
Mad people.
particularly?
Yeah, a version of the ISA that is in US and stuff. Okay, next question, man.
Hello.
Hi.
I've got 2 questions.
Sharp.
It's
No,
quite quick.
don't worry, I'll put
I'm
this
building
together.
on what is said about like the government changing the rules and whatnot. And if the trading 212 crashes tomorrow,
What happens to your money?
well, what happens to
Okay,
your
beautiful.
money?
Great
Because
question.
I was doing the stock ISA like 2 years ago and I just stopped because I had a conversation with a friend and it's like, oh, this is your money that you're putting in this thing. What happens if it crashes tomorrow? And God forbid, all the ones that I was buying was just dipping. So I'm just like, I'm not doing it anymore. But when I saw you speak today, I think it sparked something in me again and I want to try. But the voice in my head is still like...
Let me explain that. And good question. I'm sure a lot of people can have that question as well. The great thing is, you see those apps we use, all these apps, this trading 212, Bamboo, all of the apps, different apps we use to invest. They are not actually the owners of the stuff. Think of them as retailers. The actual hedge funds that actually sell shares that are powered by the US SEC, even though your money is protected by US SEC, that are powered by the US SEC, they don't deal with people like us. They don't deal in people who buy $100 shares, $2 shares. They don't deal, they don't have time for people like us. Those ones, think of them, they are like the wholesalers. So what those people do now is give these other ones license to sell. But the second you buy your stock on things like trading 212 and all of those things, your stock doesn't actually sit there. Your stock is actually sitting with those hedge funds. So there's a platform I used to invest in Nigeria. It was called Passfolio. And I had good money there. And Passfolio Cash, there was like 8,000 people and co. And they simply moved us to another app. The app is called Vest. I still have thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands in there till tomorrow. My money has not disappeared. So your money can never disappear because your money is protected by SEC. Now that's one. Number 2, you see the FCA in this country, they will die you before. So you have all of that sort of protection available. So your money doesn't actually sit on trading 212. It sits with their partner broker. I think their own partner broker is called Drive Wealth and co. And that's where your money actually sits. As a matter of fact, you can email Drive Wealth. I did that in Nigeria. I emailed Drive Wealth because they were partner brokers for Bamboo. I email them tomorrow and say, I actually use this app and I know you're the partner broker. They will give you your account number that you don't know you have with them. Your account number, your name, all your shares. So your money is not going anywhere, my dear.
Hello everyone. My question is
the ceiling that is protected by FCA.
No, that's your deposit. That's your actual cash. No, don't mistake it. That's your cash. No. That's not cash asset. That's your cash money. Your stocks are different. Yes, it's your cash that is that they are saying they're protecting. is your actual money, because if they crashed, for example, if your cash was to disappear, because your stocks will not disappear because your stocks doesn't sit with them. The money that all these platforms make is the commissions, and even those ones that don't pay, that don't collect commissions like Trading 212. That's because we don't do the risky shit. Sorry, hey God. So I'll be speaking like a good girl now. We don't do the risky stuff. There's people who trade things like CFDs, options, and co. All of those ones they make money on. That's where they make their money. But we don't do all of that. So and because we are still a good portion, they'll rather bring us in and be making money from our small interest and co, but not charging us commissions. Do you see? Okay.
Okay, thank you everyone. My question is, a lot of people have said UK markets is Nigerian market, bamboo is better than UK market. How true is that? And secondly, for someone like me that's a new beginner, I'm here too, but it looks as though everyone is already experiencing it. How do I start buying? Like when I download the app, I know that's the first step. I have the app already. How do I buy on the platform?
Sorry. I had a follow-up slide after that I had to do that showed your next steps of download, register, do all of these things. That would have been a place to see that. But the thing is this, the Nigerian market is doing well now. But I know that every one of us in this room have known parents or aunties or big older ones who invested in shares and the money never came back to anything. You know that, right? So you have that. And Nigeria, the policies change very crazily. So the stock market is doing well now. But also remember that inflation is part of it. I invest in Nigerian stock market a lot. I have good money in there. And I wish I had the time to tell you the things. There are ETFs as well for the Nigerian market. I'll give you an example. There's the VET Industrial ETF or the VET Banking ETF, for example, the Vetiva Banking ETF. That ETF has 11 Nigerian banks. So instead of you going to go and buy GT Bank, Access, all of them in one, that ETF in the last 1 year has done 160% growth. Yes, it's not you see, when I say that wisdom is profitable to direct and to grow money,
so can you only do that via Nigeria?
So you can buy it on Nigerian platforms like Bamboo, like Meristem and all of that. So there are ETFs that are doing well in Nigeria, but it is always good to invest in companies that are beyond Nigeria. A lot of these companies now, you are here, your parents are in Nigeria or something, they are likely still using Google. So they are paying maybe Google, even if Google is making money from virtually everybody in the world. In one way, you are paying them. Either your eyeballs are paying them or something. They are making money from you. You want a company like that is not just tied to a particular Nigeria. Most of these companies and co here, the reason they are global companies, even though they have American roots, is because they are making money beyond America. And that's where you want a lot of your money to be concentrated in. So invest in Nigeria is good. And like I said, I wish I had time. I'll tell you things, ETFs to buy in Nigeria, why, how, all of those things. But you want to think beyond Nigeria. You want to think beyond Baba T-Pain. See, Ben, you. One word. Okay.
A round of applause for her.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I'm very sorry.